So I think the last thing we should talk about here, maybe before we jump into some Q&A or something like that, is the ILV token. That's something we haven't discussed in quite some time, and we've had a big focus on land, and we discussed maybe if you're priced out of land, buying the ILV token. So I definitely want to circle back to that. Do you see ILV token appreciating a lot over the next 12 months, or do you have any idea of kind of where you see the Illuvium ecosystem as a whole going? The games, the meta, the token, whatever. Just like, I'd love to get your thoughts on that, both of you guys.
So this is interesting because I know you guys, like if we have personal conversations and stuff like that, like I have my degen strategies and stuff like that and my thoughts, but I hate saying that stuff publicly because like a lot of the things, like I've got like a complete gamble thing that I'm doing with SILV, like if the situation arises, but I don't like talking about that publicly because like I say in the space, I'm more of a gambler in the space than a proper investor. I'm not like, I don't have the knowledge to know that my play is going to be the right play. So I hate saying stuff. And then if people piggyback onto that and then they get wrecked, like I am not investing in the space. Like I consider my ILV tokens, my SLP stake as an investment, but you know, nothing is certain. And I said, I just hate doing the financial advice. It's like I hate blurring that line. It's just not what I'm about. So I don't want to go too deep into that. I'll let you guys have the conversation around that. But
what about the Illuvium studio and its aspirations? What do you think about that?
I've always said this. I think it's ridiculous when you look at a bunch of the other protocols in the gaming space where everyone's like, look at it. They're a studio. They're producing like 15 games at the moment. I'm like, why the fuck do you care if they're producing 15 shit games? Make one good game and then move on to the next. So like, I believe that Illuvium is actually the best studio in the space. But people just don't view it as a studio yet because they're focusing all in on, well, 2 games because you got Illuvium 0, but pretty much focusing all in on one game. And it's like, I think that will click with a lot of people in the future once they start developing the second main game as such. Like I said, some of the valuations you see on some of these gaming studios, it just blows my mind when I'm like I could rip shreds out of a couple right now, but I'm not going to do that. But like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Man. None of the games are great. Like, it's just like, it's like, yes, you've got 7 games that are playable now, but I don't want to touch one of them.
I actually wanted to tee up a pretty easy one for you before, and we kind of got sidetracked, but you kind of like put me in a position again. Again, I know we shouldn't be comparing and whatnot, but considering that you're the only person here that has played Axie amongst us, and you've also, like you said, you tried out the private beta, how do you compare those, man? Like on it, like gameplay wise, don't look about everything else. This is just shit on it, man. Just shit on. Speak your shit.
Okay, so I'm going to do something different here. So the thing, I really didn't like Axie. I didn't like the developers. I didn't like a lot about it. However, if it was actually like, I don't mind card games. Like if Axie was developed better and like better visually, it's not too bad. Like I've got one of the other boys that me and Seaton played other games with is now like, he's like pushing ranks in there all the time and he's loving it. That's Spam and Rice. He's on Twitter and shit, but like, he's having a lot of fun and I see him having fun. And I know we've played competitive games in the past together. And I'm like, okay, I do see that Axie can have competitive fun. And if I got into it, I could actually have fun myself. But it's like, there's too many factors of it that have just been half-assed and like, they don't develop the shit. And it's just like, don't get me started on the hack. Like I'm not big into like that side of things, but the moment I heard it was like 5 or 6 days before they found out, I'm like, dude. Jesus. And then because I listened to like literally my entire knowledge on the Axie hack, I don't do the research on that myself. I just listened to Santiago's podcast and they had an episode talking about it. And it's like, apparently there's like a 5-key system and like you need 5 of the 8 keys to authorize shit. And like 4 of the keys are held by the same wallet or something. Yeah. And so they didn't even hack it. They just like, I don't know, like, socially hacked, like, scammed someone and got 4 and then scammed the other guy and got the other one and then withdrew all the money. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you because I've been in the Illuvium space and like, we know how like obsessed Aaron is about everything. And like, when we had the SILV hack, like they were onto it within minutes. And I'm like, how do you go 6 days without even noticing that? So I think Axie, like I said, Illuvium shits on it 100%. But an Axie style game still can be good. It's just like Axie economics are shit. Axie displayed is like the visualization of it is shit. The team, in my opinion, isn't the greatest. But I don't want to completely shit on someone who's having a crack. But, but like the actual gameplay in the right ecosystem could actually be fun, and I could deeply theory craft it if it got competitive enough. But
without let's not go super like negative because I kind of teed you up to go that way. But I'll try and save it now. Like, do you reckon that Axie as the brand, because they've obviously built that brand, right? Do you reckon they, like you said, a game like Axie, do you reckon Axie still has a chance to kind of come back up and
yes, they've got that much money. They just buy a studio and buy a good game and away you go. Like, I just feel like when you've got that much money, you're a threat. You're a threat to this. Like, you can do stuff when you've got that much. Well, I don't know how much they've got now because they lost 600 mil, but like, like when you got capital, you can do stuff if you have the people making the decisions who know how to deploy it. And that's what I don't think they have at the moment. But I'm a complete outsider. I'm not deep in the Axie space. This is all surface level. Obviously, I'm an Illuvium person, so I'm biased as fuck. Yeah.
I think the land sale was the thing that rubbed me the wrong way. I think they already had enough money to do something to their game, future games, and so on. And then they made a land sale to get more money. I don't know why anyone would do that. That just, unless they had something tied to the land sale instantly. It seemed like a really strange play, and honestly, I just wanted to see them do something with what they started. They started something amazing, and a lot of people are going to benefit from it. I just would have liked them to just take it further. That's all.